Let's clap these guys in. Before we get this thing started, I think we should give one more round for all the graduates. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please stand and remove your hats and join us in the national anthem. Before we get started tonight, I want us to do a few thank yous. Thank you to Sarah Martin and Dale Kolb for the technical support for tonight's ceremony. They're sitting back there with an iPad. Thank you for Bogey Lake Greenhouse and all the beautiful flowers on the stage this evening. Thank you to Wendy Keekley for all the decorations that you see out and about. And please remember where they're at so that later you can get some good pictures. And thank you for everyone here tonight to celebrate these graduates. It was a journey getting to this stage, and they could not have done it without you. Before we begin, I want to take a few minutes to introduce a few of the folks on stage with here this evening. They have been true champions of our programs, recognizing every single student's future is important. It is the path to that future that may be different. I would like to begin with our Board of Education. Please stand when you are called to be recognized. Denise Pestana, Board Secretary. Tom Wiseman, Board Treasurer. Jacob Dimmick, Board Trustee. Michelle Ryan, Board Trustee. Amy Grzynkowski, Board Trustee. And also I'd like to recognize our district administrative team, also on stage with us this evening, Dr. Paul Slaw, Superintendent of Schools. Dr. Lena Nemeth, Assistant Superintendent of Teaching, Learning, and Technology. Barb Rothler, Director of Communications and Community Relations. Jennifer Bjorkman, Director of State and Federal Programs. Jeanette Wenger, Supervisor of HR. Todd Kallenbach, Executive Director of Student Support Services. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize these two other folks on the stage with me this evening. Without them, none of this would have happened. So I have up here Kelly Vella, Adult Coordinator for our adult program, and Karen Gerard, our Advisor for Adult Education. Before we get to the student speeches, I want to just take a few minutes and say a few words, but I'll keep it brief. Well, first off, just congratulations, class of 2026. When reflecting on the year and what I might say to this year's graduating class, I was inspired by all the difficult choices that you have had to make to get to this stage. Students often turn to me for advice on the choices they are struggling with or on the choices that they have made and the repercussions of those choices. How do you make the hard choices in life? How do you choose when every option seems to be worse than the other one? How do you know what the right choice is? I gave some advice to a student in a moment that only took moments in the hallway, seconds really. It left me wondering about these very same questions. The student was walking towards his 5th hour class, and I paused him to talk briefly about what he had done in the previous 4th hour class. And I talked to him about his language and his behavior. And I said to him, I've noticed that your behavior changes when you're around different folks. I said, when you're part of a hardworking, kind group of people, you do that. And when you're part of a group of kids acting like middle school boys, you do that. And I said, this is something you need to reflect on. And you wouldn't do those things if you knew what you stood for. And then I walked away from him in that moment and left him with that, and I ran on to something else. But before I left, I said to him, I choose hardworking and kind. That kid was just, the questions he was dealing with in that moment were not life-shattering. Should I throw a pencil across the classroom? Should I draw an inappropriate picture of Stephen on Mr. Armstrong's table? However, there have been many choices, incredibly hard choices for the graduates here this evening. When I look out over the faces in front of me, I see those choices reflected back at me in determination towards a goal that they thought they might never reach. When I look out over the faces in front of me, I see hard choices. Should I go to work or should I go to school? Should I speak up or stay silent? Should I tell someone how I feel? Should I call for help? When I look out over the graduates here this evening, I see determination that it took to get here despite those hard choices. I see courage to wake up every day and come for a future you couldn't even see yet. I see grit. I see these hard choices, but they do get easier with time because you find yourself. You find what you stand for. You find what you will defend in your own heart. So as you consider your futures beyond graduation, I offer you some advice about hard decisions. It begins with asking yourself what you stand for. We figure this out by making choices every day, and we have all seen the repercussions of those choices. That churning in your stomach and that biting pain of regret when you've done something wrong. That bubbling warmth in your chest when you feel proud of yourself. I hope you all feel that pride today. We strive for perfection. We strive for integrity, honesty, reliability, compassion, love. So for example, if you decide that honesty is something that you will defend every day in your heart, that every choice, every hard choice will be made with honesty to guide you, those choices will pile up in the hearts of those around you, and you will become known as someone who tells the truth even when it's hard. So choose how you want to be known by those around you, and your words and your actions will tell that truth. The hard part is you will lose your way. This happens to all of us. You will compromise yourself and what you believe in to be true about yourself. We all fall and we all fail to live up to perfection. But this too can be overcome with choices and a commitment to be better than we were yesterday. We have all gotten back up after falling. All we can do is be better than we were before. And when you are at that crossroads of a choice, struggling with your options, despite knowing what is in your heart, always choose the hardest option. It's always the right choice. That's why it's so damn hard. It's always easier to lie than tell the truth. It's always easier to hide than stand up. And it's always easier to deflect than take ownership. So walk into your futures class of 2026 and make the hard choices. These choices will build up in the hearts of those around you. Be known for your integrity, your reliability, your honesty, your compassion. Help us create the future we want to be part of with each decision you make. Congratulations, class of 2026. And at this time, I'd like to offer Dr. Slaw a chance at the microphone.
Well, good evening, everyone. Graduates, it's a good day to graduate, is it not? Sure is. Let's give it up for the graduates. Graduates, staff, honored guests, families, and friends, as we celebrate the graduating class of 2026 from both our alternative high school and our adult education programs, we recognize that no two journeys here are exactly the same. Some of you are graduating on a traditional timeline. Some of you took a different path. Some balanced school while working jobs, raising families, and overcoming personal hardships. Some of you returned to education after many, many years away. but every one of you shares something powerful in common. And that is determination and perseverance to never quit in accomplishing your goal. Your presence here this evening is proof that resilience matters more than circumstance. Parents, grandparents, spouses, children, loved ones, and friends, this celebration belongs to you as well. Behind every graduate is someone who encouraged them, sacrificed for them, believed in them, and refused to let them quit. Graduates, can we give a round of applause for those who are here to support you? As a father myself, I understand how much heart and energy it takes to support someone through difficult seasons of life. Graduates, at some point tonight, make sure you give a hug and a kiss to those who are here to support you and show you their love. Graduates, one of the most important lessons you can learn in life is this: do not fear failure. Failure is not the end of your story. In many cases, it's the beginning of growth. Early in my adult life, I learned that existence is full of probabilities. I call probabilities, they're problems that become opportunities for learning. Has anybody ever had one of those in their lives? I face them every day. You can't control everything that happens. There will be hardship. You may be discouraged, but what you choose to do will ultimately define who you will become. Will you become bitter and defensive? Will you work harder? Will you choose to build relationships? Will you choose to go the extra mile for yourself and for those around you? Hardship and circumstance teaches you something important. Your worth cannot be determined by someone else's opinion of you. Challenges and setbacks can either define you or they can refine you. That choice is yours. Life will hand you disappointments. Life will test you. There will be moments when things feel unfair, but resilience is built in those moments. Not when life is easy, but when you decide to keep moving forward despite the difficulty. Remember, giving up is the only failure that truly guarantees defeat. As you move into this next chapter, I also encourage you to seek to understand others. The world is full of people with different experiences, backgrounds, struggles, and perspectives. You do not have to agree with everyone, but you should always show them their humility. Relationships matter more than winning arguments. Kindness matters. Listening matters. The people you surround yourself with and the way you treat them will shape the quality of your life far more than the status or titles that you carry. And in a world that is constantly pushing distraction, impulsiveness, and superficial appearances, choose to live authentically and thoughtfully. You do not have to document every single moment of your life online to prove that it mattered. I would go as far as to say that you need to be careful not to do that. It's a trap. It's like measuring life through other people's social media feeds. It's all phony. Don't fall for the trap. We live in a world that constantly encourages performance. Everything is measured, everything is posted, everything is compared. Vacations, body image, food, romance, everything is compared without actual reality for comparison. And in environments like that, it becomes dangerously easy to confuse perception with reality. Your diploma represents far more than academic achievement. It represents persistence, it represents sacrifice, it represents the decision to continue when quitting may have been easier. Don't become distracted with false narratives that have nothing to do with your lived journey. Class of 2026, your story is still being written. The future is yours to shape. On behalf of the entire Huron Valley Schools community, thank you for allowing us to be a part of your remarkable journey. We are so proud of you, we believe in you, and we cannot wait to see what you accomplish next. Congratulations, graduates. Go out there and show the world what you're made of.
Thank you, Dr. Slaw. And next up, I would like to ask Logan Brown to come join me on stage. Logan is the first Harbor High School speaker. He's our salutatorian.
Good evening and congratulations to the class of 2026. When I was presented with the position of salutatorian, Mr. Dowker said I had an option of doing a speech. My parents made it clear I, in fact, did not. Though it is an incredible honor to stand among all of you today, representing Harbor High School and the class of 2026 as their salutatorian. I've attended Harbor High School since my sophomore year. My freshman year was spent at Wold Lake Northern, where I felt alone and struggled with bullying on a daily basis. After several attempts to get help, I realized that my voice was not being heard. The staff encouraged you to be quiet about your struggles or did the bare minimum to be able to say, well, I tried. I was miserable at Northern and needed a change. I walked into the doors on my first day of Harbor in the footsteps of my older sister, Lillian Brown. I heard stories from her about how amazing the staff was and how they had helped her succeed. But what I didn't understand or realize until I became a student was how much they truly do care about each and every one of us. I especially want to thank several staff members that really helped me on my journey. Mrs. Zambito, thank you for solidifying my love for language. You opened my eyes to looking at the world differently and helped me find myself through self-reflection and writing. Thank you, Mr. Lawson, for pushing me to do better and to be better. You believed in me and helped me believe in myself. I've learned more from you about life between laughs and one-on-one art lessons than any other experience in high school. And thank you, Ms. Bean, for showing me a path beyond high school. You believed in me and pushed me to attend OSTC, even when I was nervous about trying something new. Looking back on it now, I want to thank you, Mrs. Bean, for believing me when I did not believe in myself. Not only them, but each and every staff person helped not only me succeed, but all of us in little and small ways. Thank you all for everything you do. We would not be here without you. Over the course of my time here at Harbor, I have learned a multitude of lessons about myself, but not just about myself. Some of these lessons are truths about life. Graduates, please consider learning from my struggles as you look towards your future. You are not your failures. I spent years dwelling on my failures and letting my past mistakes shape me. It was only after finding my way at Harbor through the help of all of the teachers that I finally realized that the failures of the past do not dictate who you are. What you do after you fall and how you allow yourself to get back up and allow yourself to get help and support is what defines your character. All of us have gotten up after falling, dusted ourselves up, and kept on walking. Continue to get back up after each failure, learn from your mistakes, and chart a path forward. The only thing that limits our potential in life is our beliefs in ourselves. I can remember countless opportunities that I did not take because I was not confident in my success. We're not going to be good at everything right away, and we should not let that dissuade us from trying something new. You are not alone. Often when we walk through this life, we feel alone. but this is a lie that we tell ourselves in the darkness. We have a whole group of people behind each and every one of us: parents, friends, teachers, brothers, maybe an awesome big sister. Maybe we did not succeed and get to where we are today alone. We did it together. We succeeded with all the help and the people in this room. So when you're feeling alone, just reach out and ask for help. Finally, I noticed during my 3 years at Harbor that so much of my life has changed, and so much of the world around us has changed as well. Since the world and life seems to be always changing, it feels like we do not have any time. We have time to figure out our next steps on this big space rock that we call Earth. We have time to decide on a career. We have time to consider our options. But more than ever, as we move forward into that future, we need to do so with kindness in our hearts. So, class of 2026, learn and grow from your failures. You are capable of everything that you say you're not. You are never alone. Take advantage of time and plan out your future. And never forget that we all live on the same planet, only separated by imaginary lines and ignorance. Love yourself, and most importantly, love everyone. Thank you.
That is going to be a tough act to follow. Thank you, Logan. Next up is the Harbor High School valedictorian, Peyton Miley.
Where's mine? Congratulations, class of 2026. There is a common saying, often attributed to an African proverb, that states, "It takes a village to raise a child." In many ways, I feel as though this saying describes my experience in life, and I would like to say there is no possible way I would be standing here without my village. Behind this speech, behind this day, is a village of people who have been there for me. My village includes people who have showed up for me when I did not have the strength to show up for myself. My village includes people who have believed in me when I did not know if I believed in anything at all, including myself. My village includes the people who reminded me who I am, the ones that never let me give up when giving up was the only option I thought I had. Today I want to say thank you to my village. Thank you to the village of people who changed my life in ways I cannot fully put into words. Thank you, Miss Nigro at Johnson, for loving me and keeping me safe, pushing me to show up and giving me a reason why. Thank you. Thank you, Joe, my best friend. The person always there since freshman year who saw something in me I did not even see in myself. During some of the hardest times, when I didn't know if graduating was even a possibility, you showed up every day. You stayed in my corner, cheering me on, and never let me give up. Thank you to my counselor, Doc, who drove almost 45 minutes, multiple times each week, working on his own time to ensure I could enroll in college and achieve my dreams. His dedications to others, to me, and who I wanted to be changes lives. It changed mine. And thank you to the most important member of my village, my mom, my everything. A single mom who raised my brother and me with strength and determination, sacrificing more than I will ever know, including late nights and early mornings, and putting our needs before her own. I think about the times when both of our worlds were falling apart, constantly exhausted, and yet you still did everything for me. You pushed me to be who I am today, supporting every dream I have, and helping me realize every one of them. I would not be standing here without you. There were times in my life when I went through things that changed how I saw myself in the world around me, things that affected my sense of safety, security, and self-worth in ways I didn't even know how to explain or understand. At times, my life was torn apart, broken, and unmade by the very hands that should have helped mold me. To be honest, those times were traumatic, and for a long time, I carried that trauma with me, while still trying to show up every single day. That was difficult. But as difficult as it was, I didn't have to go through it alone. My village was there for me. My village showed up in ways that helped me keep going when I did not feel strong enough to go on. And little by little, with the help of my village, I started to rebuild myself into who I am today. So I want to say thank you to all the people of my village. And I think I can speak for all of us when I say thank you to Harbor High School, to Mr. Dowker, faculty, staff, teachers, and every other person who makes this place exactly what it is. For most of us, this isn't just a place to get credits. It is a place where we can breathe, where we are not judged, where people believe in us. Here at Harbor High School, we are supported as the people who we are and who we are becoming. For many of us, this was and is more than just another school. It was our last chance, a place we came to when things did not go as planned, when our original path did not work out. Instead of giving up on us, this school gave us another chance, another path. This school is a safe place, a place where we are accepted and understood, a place that gives us a second chance to get it right. Harbor High School is the kind of environment that encourages true growth and true change. It is not an environment focused on changing grades. It is an environment that focuses on changing lives. Thank you for everything you do. Finally, to the other people of my village, my fellow graduates, this is a finish line. It is the end of one chapter. It is also the beginning of another. And the truth is, most of us started from different places, with different degrees of things to overcome, and none of us arrived at this stage untouched by difficulty. We learned early on that life is not easy, and it does not wait until we are ready for things. Life does not pause for us to catch our breath, but what it does do, what it has always done, is give us a choice to persist. Today is about persistence. Today is about resilience. Today is about showing up again and again, even when things feel uncertain, unfair, or even overwhelming. Each and every one of us took a different path to get to this moment, but we did it. Be proud of yourselves, who you are, and the work it took to get here. My advice is, do not let where you start decide where you finish. There will be people who expect less from you because of where you have been. Do not prove them right, prove them wrong. Give yourself more credit. You made it here. And my challenge to you, exceed your own goals. Do not allow life to count you out before life even has the chance to count you in. Your past is a part of you. It is not all of you. This is the beginning of the next chapter. I believe in each and every member of our village. I believe in all of us. Congrats, class of 2026. We did it. This way? This way?
Thank you, Peyton. And next up, we're going to call to the stage our very first adult education speaker, Will Edmonds.
Here? All right. Good evening, everyone. First off, I just want to say, if you told me 13 years ago that I'd be standing up here giving a graduation speech on my 31st birthday, Thank you. I would have laughed it off and told you had the wrong guy. But here we are. Coming back to school as an adult is a little different than doing it the first time around. When you're younger, your biggest concern might be homework or what you're doing after class. As an adult, it's more like, did I pay my electric bill? Why does my back hurt for no reason? Somehow trying to finish assignments after working all day. A lot of us in adult education weren't just students. We're workers, parents, providers, partners, and professional procrastinators who discovered that discussion boards are due at 11:59 for a reason. And honestly, coming back after 13 years was intimidating. Walking into a class again felt weird at first. You start wondering things like, am I too old for this? Can I still do this? Why does math suddenly look like a foreign language? But I think everybody here proved something important. It's never too late to bet on yourself. That's what tonight really means. This diploma isn't just paper. It represents early mornings, long shifts, late nights, stress, sacrifice, and choosing not to quit even when quitting could have been easier. And let's be honest, adult education students don't always get enough credit. We didn't take the straight road to graduation. Some of us took the scenic route, with a few wrong turns, construction zones, maybe a blown tire or two, but we still made it. And personally, I think that means something, because success isn't about doing everything perfectly or on schedule. Success is getting back up when life knocks you off track and deciding the story isn't over yet. I also want to thank the teachers, staff, friends, family, significant others, and everyone who supported us along the way. Thank you for believing in us, even during the moments we doubted ourselves. To my classmates, be proud of yourselves tonight. Seriously, what we did takes courage. Starting over takes courage. Walking back into a classroom after years away takes courage. And now we leave here with something nobody can take away from us, proof that we're capable of more than we thought. So wherever life takes us next, new jobs, college, training, better opportunities, or just finally being able to say, I did it, remember this moment. We came back, we worked for it, and we earned it. Congratulations, class of 2026. We made it.
Thank you, Will. And last up, our final adult education speaker, Taylor Hinkle.
Hi, everyone, and good evening, administrators, faculty, friends, and family. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Taylor, and I'm here with the GED graduates of 2026. I would like to start off by saying thank you to everyone for being here, and congratulations to the class of 2026, as well as our other graduates. Also, please bear with me, I wrote this speech 3 hours ago. Tonight, we are here with those who never stopped believing in us. So I would like to take a moment and have everyone look around at the parents, guardians, and teachers who took us to early morning practices, proofread essays at midnight, and for me at least, watched my child while I accomplished things I never thought I was going to. Without your sacrifice of patience and sanity, we would not be here today, so thank you. This speech would definitely be a little different coming from an 18-year-old high school student graduate, but instead it's coming from a 22-year-old GED graduate that is now considered UNC by her little brother. Now, getting a GED is not the easy route people think it is. Many of us had to grow through things before we could even think about graduating. For me, I struggled with being a victim of sexual abuse, being a teenage mom, and losing one of my biggest supporters to cancer, and struggling with my mental health. I was in debt and living paycheck to paycheck, moving states to find cheaper places to live, and having my family pay my bills because I couldn't. I had the bad boyfriends and made the bad decisions, and I had my moments where I doubted if I would ever make it here. But tonight proves that my story did not end there, and for whoever else struggled to get here tonight, your story did not end there either. We kept going. Thank you. Not only have I graduated from my CNA and my GED classes, but I am now an ER tech at a hospital and enrolling in college classes in the fall, as well as being a mother to my 6-year-old built-in best friend that is my biggest accomplishment. I stand here today as proof that life does not happen in a straight line for it to still become something worth it. I still could not have done it without the people I had in my corner through the endless love, encouragement, and support they have given me through this journey. At 22 years old, being called UNC definitely makes me feel old sometimes, but it also reminds me of how far I have come and how much I have grown. Tonight is not the end of our story. It's proof that no matter how delayed the process may seem, determination will always have the final word. Never let anyone make you feel behind in life. Every single one of us got here on our own, and that is something to be proud of. Be proud of who you are, the work you do, and the difference that you make. I would like to thank a couple people before I end this speech tonight. So thank you to my teachers for the patience and support you have shown me throughout these last months, especially trying to teach me how a slope works because I still don't get it. To my Aunt Becky and my Uncle Justin, tonight would not be possible without your endless love and support, and I am so grateful I get to experience this achievement with you. To Evie, Violet, and Brody, thank you for being the greatest bonus siblings I could have. You are also amazing, and I look up to you as much as you look up to me. Thank you, Dad and Michelle, for making me strong and passionate about things that matter to me and encouraging me to be my best self. Noah, you have been my rock throughout my whole life and my go-to person and the other half of me. So thank you for being one of my biggest motivations and being the best brother a girl could ask for. Now, last but not least, thank you to the one making the sky so pretty for me. Mimi, I hope I am making you proud up there. We all love and miss you so much. Congratulations, class of 2026, we did it.
I think we should give one more round of applause for all of our speakers. I would like to introduce some of the staff that made this possible. So when I call your name, please, you can either stand up or just wave, depending on how shy you are. So Jeannie Edwards, Adult Education. Cha Chung Ling, Adult Education. Rachel Desjardins, Adult Ed. I know I introduced her earlier, but she is phenomenal, Karen Gerard. Jen Bruss, Math and GED. Wendy Keekley. Anthony Salsaccioli, I think I said that right. Kelly Vella. Terry Wertman. And the Harbor High School staff. Scott Armstrong. Lisa Bacci. Kim Bean. Kim Best. Joe Davy and Rosie's, he's ours. He's out there somewhere. Brian Dawson. Jenny Doyle. Veronica Hope. Trevor Clem. Jared Lawson. Meg McAlay. Mark Puyat. Paige Riley. Stephanie Ruiz. Diana Schuneman, who is retiring this year. And I'm saying that now and I forgot, Dawson's retiring too. Nicole Stokes. Kathy York. Annie Zambito. Mike Jump. Anna Goldman. And I also want to recognize our guest teachers who are in our buildings all the time. Emily Blanchard. Joe Yanchinson. And Sandy Weber. Teachers, if you could, please make your way to the side of the stage over here to receive our graduates. I got a whispered acknowledgement, and I'm going to do it. Kelly, you're looking at me like I'm not going to say it. Kelly Young Raymore is in the house. I would like to also acknowledge the former counselors, social workers, administrators, teachers, and staff here this evening. We encourage all of our graduates to identify a former staff person they would like to attend their graduation ceremony, and many of these seats in this front right corner are those folks. So I know you were thinking you're not going to be recognized, but please stand up and get a round of applause. Before we begin the presentation of diplomas, I would like to acknowledge the different groups graduating here this evening. Graduating this evening are this year's Harbor High School graduates. Please stand as a group to be recognized. Harbor High School. And graduating this evening are the Adult Education Diploma and GED recipients. Please stand. And now we are at the point in the ceremony where we're going to be presenting diplomas to each individual graduate. I discussed at rehearsal the importance of this moment and the respect that we need to show for each and every graduate. Please, I would ask that everyone focus their attention on each graduate as they cross the stage and give them a huge round of applause. This is a special and proud moment for all of our graduates and families.
Salutatorian Logan Ray Brown. Valedictorian Peyton Lauren Miley. National Honor Society William David Edmonds II. CNA graduate and National Honor Society's Taylor Henkel. Caleb N. Abbott. Addison Jade Alexander. Chloe Elizabeth Arthur. Faith Marissa Austin. Tanner Gregory Austin. Cruz Jordan Ayala. Lauren May Bowsey. Ty Martin Bewack. Joshua Adam Boyd. Hayden Steele Bruker. Creed Daniel Brower. Logan Ray Brown. National Honor Society's David William Shishke. Lucas Patrick Clapper. Morgan Ryan Claus. Gavin Duvall Coleman. Trey Lynn Cottrell. Malcolm Couch. Adriana Joy Covent. Xander Derek Zarnecki. Deara Dolores Draper. Lisa Shanae Dunlap. Camden J. Eastwood. Spencer E. Erickson. Samantha Ane Esteban Rosas. Haley Royal Fan. Nicoletta Vernice Fanning. Hayden Freeman. Joseph Fugit. Tobias Jacob Goodman. Waylon Porter Gordon. Callie Elizabeth Grayka. Skyla Hope Haynes. Madeline May Hinckley. Caitlin Marie Hicks. Nicholas Hoffman. Emily K. Jones. Braylon Xander Carolee. Joshua J. Kirby. Keaton Jacob Klepak. National Honor Society's Felicia Amber Katsonas, who will be serving our country in the U.S. Marine Corps. Come on. Sean Patrick Kozlowski. Lydia Nicole Cryer. Mitchell Xavier Kuzdak. Gabriella Marie Lasley. Jason Christopher Lawrence. Paul Leanne. Tanya Sophia Lopez. National Honor Society's Carter Jacob Lorian. National Honor Society's Takara Renee Madsen. Lillian Rose Melkowski. Julian Marquez. Bryce Marshall. National Honor Society's Anne Jolene Renee Matern. David Lee Maxwell IV. Morgan Ella McFarland. Kristen McCurvey Davis. Ruby Lynn McQueen. Abigail Page Melkonian. Tabitha Ann Miller. Austin Robert Napper. Nathan Daniel Neer. Kayla Michelle Newmarch. Caden James Newsom. Jackson Robert Nicholson. Logan Pierce Palmer. Ambria Lee Perry. Gracie Christine Pachaha. Iris Shane Power. Madeline Olivia Reyes. Sarah Elizabeth Ridgway. James Arthur Roney III. National Honor Society's Christina Louise Root. National Honor Society's Jack Wyatt Rose. Keegan Richard Sadler. Julia Sano. Afia Snow. Christina M. Spencer. Lexi Reese Spazita. Brian Joseph St. Clair. Parker Thomas Stevenson. Chloe Frances Strickland. Elijah Scott Sturm. Kenny Charles Sturm II. Nathaniel Andrew Tamlin. Emma Rose Francis Tennant. National Honor Society's John Sang Tao. Austin Kevin Van. Samaje Victor Venters. Savannah Louise Vicuna. Cassandra Lee Walker. Elizabeth Angelina Walker. Jan Michael Welling. Cassandra Marie Wilson. Abigail Ann Wolf. Candace Carmen Yaldu. Caden Joseph Zmick-Ferna.
I want to ask for just one more huge round of applause for these graduates. As we prepare to officially graduate these students, I'm just going to give you a few reminders. They're making their way back to get their photo opportunity and come back to their seats. We ask that you please remain seated as they exit at the end of our ceremony so that all the members of the audience are able to see their graduates. Graduates will exit the field house and go to the left out into the lobby where they can meet up with family and friends and take a ton of different photographs. Hopefully it's beautiful outside. The ceremony will resume when all of our graduates return back to their seats from getting their photos taken. So the moment that we've all been waiting for. Graduates, please stand and be recognized by your audience. These graduates who stand before you have successfully fulfilled the requirements to receive their adult education diplomas and certificates or high school diplomas. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Huron Valley School Board, I hereby confer the appropriate certificates and diplomas and declare that they've been officially certificated and graduated. Let us signify this moment of graduation by the act of moving tassels from the right to the left. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2026, let's clap them out.